welcome to the Quick and Painless Pro Wrestling Podcast. I am your host, or one of your hosts, Carter.
Holy crap, and in case any of you guys forgot, I am your other host, Dillon. It's been a couple weeks.
It has.
It's been like 2 weeks.
Yeah, we went on a bit of a hiatus.
We needed to go find ourselves.
We had to take a break. We missed a lot. I mean, if we weren't paying attention, if we just went away and just like fell asleep or something, we would have missed a lot.
We're just waking up right now.
Well, you were asleep. You were supposed to call me.
I was and then to my chagrin, you called me. I'm like,
we're doing this, I guess.
yeah.
I guess this is.
I thought we're skipping another week.
We could have skipped another week and just said, "Oh, that's the end of season 1."
And then we could have just had like a big 3-hour marathon episode.
That's coming. That might actually be this episode.
Oh my God! Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised. I would not be surprised.
No. Well, yeah, so a lot has happened. I didn't even know how to put it all into words, how to put it all into segments. I mean, I know we do our best thing, our worst thing. We shoot the breeze. We talk about stuff. I don't know. I don't even know what we're doing. Who are you?
Where am I right now? Well, I guess we should start off by by me asking, how have you been, sir?
Oh, man.
How have the past 2 weeks been treating you?
Good, I guess. I don't know. Yeah. Yep.
Apparently not good enough to record an episode.
Listen. I'm dealing with a lot over here, all right?
Yeah. You don't understand what I'm going through, man. No, it's totally understandable.
What about you?
Totally understandable.
These last 2 weeks, what's been going on with you, man?
I don't know, some Bigfoot hunting.
Oh, yeah. You gone squatching.
Yeah. I gone Sasquatch seeing.
Nice. And did you catch anything?
Besides potential frostbite on my feet.
Oh yeah.
No.
Yeah, because you had to plant some prints, right?
Plant some prints, yeah. So my daughter all of a sudden is really into Bigfoot.
Yeah.
She started watching this movie a couple weeks back called Judy Moody and the Not So Bummer Summer.
Wow.
Yeah. Have you ever heard of that movie or seen that movie?
No. Sounds like something you made up.
No, it's a kid's movie.
Okay.
So, and there's a subplot in the movie where they are trying to find Bigfoot. And
gotcha.
There's a Bigfoot supposedly in their town and they're trying to hunt it down, but spoiler, it's somebody in a costume.
Oh.
Yeah. So after seeing that, she has really been into Bigfoot. And last weekend, we went for a Bigfoot hunt in the woods. And I had to sneak out beforehand and took my shoes off and walked around in the snow to make lifelike footprints.
Oh, that's sweet.
Yeah. And so we saw them and she was super stoked and came back and she drew a bunch of Bigfoot pictures for an hour and a half.
That's awesome.
And hung them up all over. So
that mission accomplished.
Yeah, Bigfoot.
Nice. There's a guy I used to work with. His name's John. He's a real person. But he used to love watching that show, Finding Bigfoot. And he would watch it, and then the next day he would tell me about it. And every time he would tell me about it, he would always start off by saying, "Spoiler alert, they didn't find him."
They never do.
Right.
They never do. I mean, it's they come up with some pretty good evidence, but for some reason they never really follow up on it per se. Like, they get really, really close, but
Yep.
I just couldn't do it this week, guys.
Well, they need Nora.
Didn't find them.
They need Nora out there, and I bet she could be the one to crack the case.
Probably. She actually did find like a piece of fur.
Okay.
Like on some twigs or something like that. And like she was super stoked about that.
You didn't plant that?
No, I didn't plant that.
Well, then I think you got a Squatch on your hands.
Yeah, either that or a really old rabbit.
No.
With like silver fur.
Squatch.
Squatch.
No, based on the evidence presented to me, there is really only one logical explanation. Squatch.
My beard got caught on a branch while I was running around barefoot in the woods.
You wish your beard was that grizzly.
Well, you'd be surprised.
You're not Joshihiro to Whitney.
No, nobody can be compared to Joshihiro to Whitney.
No. Maybe it's him. Maybe he's the Squatch. All right, what are we talking about here?
Well, we were talking about Sasquatch.
Squatch and Squatch.
Yeah. Yeah. Man, so what a past 2 weeks of wrestling wonder that has been happening.
Oh, man. I am,
oh, my God.
No. If we didn't originally plan on taking last week off, I would suggest us taking last week off.
Just so we could have everything build up to this week.
Just because I'm still reeling. I mean, just out on my feet.
Yeah, like I don't even know where to start. I really don't. There's so much that has happened, and like there's so many different things to talk about. Like it's hard to kind of cherry pick where you want to begin at.
I didn't realize that Ricky Starks losing the TV title would have this much of an impact on you.
I've been losing sleep, man. I haven't slept in like 3 days.
Dylan, that is outlandish.
It's outlandish. Ziggy Dice always finishes.
Ziggy Dice.
But yeah, we can totally talk about that. Yeah, Ziggy Dice beating Ricky Starks for the NWA television title on Power this Tuesday.
I like that we start by saying so much has happened and we're reeling, and then we lead into it with
we're like, holy shit, Ziggy Dice.
Can you believe it?
Poor Ricky.
Right, exactly. But yeah.
But no,
that happened.
Yeah, Ziggy Dice is such a character, man.
Yeah.
Just basically what he says. He's outlandish.
He is.
And like it works, man. It works. He's just like that sleazy like 80s
wrestler, yeah.
Got 80s wrestler with the fanny pack, and you know what I really liked about that match though is that he didn't have to cheat to win.
Yeah.
Like no pulling of the tights, no like really shady stuff. Like he beat Ricky clean.
Yeah. Yeah, they have a legitimate feud.
Yeah. And I think that even adds like more heat.
I agree.
To Ziggy, because that gives him just like more fuel just to say, you know what, I'm the biggest asshole in the world, but I beat you clean, and I'm gonna tell you about it every chance that I get to.
Yeah.
So, yeah, good stuff, man. Good stuff from the NWA. Shout out to the NWA.
Shout out NWA.
Yep. Favorite podcast.
I mean, all right. Well, then how do you want to do this? We had Super Showdown last Thursday. We had, we didn't talk about Dynamite or NXT last Wednesday, which was, of course, the go-home show for Dynamite going into Revolution. And then, obviously, we had Revolution on Saturday. So I don't know that we necessarily need to break down match by match because we'll be here all night. But do we want to talk about these individual events, or do we want to just do our normal segments?
Let's kind of do a little breakdown of some of the events.
Okay.
let's kind of switch it up, and then we can kind of sprinkle in like what we didn't like and what we did like.
All right, well, I'll let you start then.
Okay, well, I guess we'll start with Super Showdown from Saudi Arabia. Oh my God, where do I start with that? Well, we had the the gauntlet match for the
U.S. title, or no, just it's for the mountain trophy.
The King of the Mountain trophy that they did or something, which basically turned into the AJ Styles dance-off competition. Yeah. So, which I heard that he was injured. He's been dealing with an injury, possibly some sort of shoulder injury. So that's why he decided to break out the dance moves for most of the time in that match. But AJ ended up eliminating R-Truth.
Yep.
And then Rey Mysterio was supposed to come out, but then we had Gallows and Anderson taking out Rey Mysterio in the back. And then all of a sudden, The Undertaker comes up.
Yep.
Takes out Gallows and Anderson, takes Rey's spot, and beats AJ with a choke slam.
Yeah.
Which, giving the circumstances, surrounding his shoulder injury, I guess is the safest way to go in that situation, possibly.
Yeah.
But, yeah, so Undertaker wins the King Riyab, King of the Mountain gauntlet thing in Saudi Arabia.
Riyadh?
So,
I don't know.
Riyadh, something.
Yeah.
So, which... Yeah, I mean, they needed something to build for their potential match at WrestleMania. I just don't know if I like that way of doing it, of setting up that feud. But then again, I don't know exactly how else you could set up for that, I guess. But that just seemed really out of place.
Yeah, I mean, I'll probably get pretty long-winded about WWE's use of legends here in this show. But when it comes to Undertaker, he's the one exception to the rule. And I think you and I talked about this before. We can get pissed off, that somebody gets run over by a truck, when they're back on the show next week.
Back to this conversation.
Yeah, we could get pissed off that someone gets pinned 1, 2, 3 and their shoulders clearly up. But if Undertaker strikes you with a bolt of lightning, I believe it.
Yeah, my panties are coming off, and
of course he did that.
Yep, I'm raising my hands to the sky.
But I feel like that's who his character was, always will be. Shout out Bret Hart. That's just, he has to be this mystical being, this larger than life character that is, the supernatural. That he just has to be that. That's what he's always been, and there's no reason to change it. Now, I believe in the whole sports aspect of pro wrestling, but I also believe in the larger than life storytelling as well. And if he's always been that way, with the exception of that weird American Badass thing, then he should always be that way. So that being said, he should be one of those characters that like his world shouldn't follow the rules of our world. Meaning, oh, well, he's been wrestling since 1983, so he's 1,000 years old. But age doesn't affect him the way it affects mere mortals like us.
Yeah.
That should be believed, and that should be kind of... So I don't get upset when he comes out and just, demolishes someone, as long as it doesn't look like shit. I'm like, yeah, that's fine. It's Undertaker. That's the character. He's the one exception to the rule. But
no, I don't have a problem with him coming out and
Well, I'm getting to something here.
You said demolishing. Okay, we'll get to it.
What irritates me is how they present him. He comes out in this ominous, entrance that he always does. And then you got Mr. Nickelodeon, frickin' Michael Cole, like, oh, is it him? I knew it.
I hate that. I hate that. Like, the music starts playing, and all of a sudden you hear, like, whoever Michael Cole, could it be?
Yeah.
Could it be? Is it?
Well, and like,
no shit. You see the music's playing.
Right.
There's fog coming from the stage. Come on.
Well, and then
the announcer's already announcing him down to the ring.
But then he also is like, oh, there's been sightings of him all week, and there's been rumors about him being there. That should never be the case. Like, conventional travel shouldn't apply to him. I don't care if you're in Saudi Arabia, Antarctica, New York, doesn't matter. If he shows up because he is a supernatural being. Like, you don't say, like, oh, saw him in the airport. He was next to me buying some Cracker Jacks. And I was like, could it be? So, it ruins everything.
I think the internet ruined that.
What, when they would, like, tweet pictures of him and stuff? Yeah, I mean, I don't disagree with you there.
Yeah,
but still, you don't.
Why not? Why if it's already out in the open? Why not try to acknowledge that in some way? I guess, but I mean,
I suppose. I mean, it's a tough line to walk. I suppose. You know?
It is. It is.
But for me, it just feels like it takes away from his character.
No, I agree.
And then the chokeslam was horrible.
Yeah, what happened? What?
Well, see,
was it like a timing issue, or?
I don't know. I mean, you know that, like you said, AJ's shoulder is bad, so maybe there was an issue with that. But
you think maybe he's trying to be safe somehow with that?
Could be. Yeah, he was trying to look out for AJ. But, I mean, AJ jumped, as high as he possibly could for it.
Oh, yeah. So. Yeah, you're going to get chokeslammed by the Undertaker. You're going to put rockets in your boots and make sure you get up off the ground.
Exactly.
For that. Yeah.
So, yeah, they got a lot of things they got to work out, because I would, again, and again, I can excuse a loss to the Undertaker, because it's, again, for everything we just said. But if you're just going to do a quick 3-minute highlight reel and all of those moves are terrible, I mean, what are we doing?
What are we doing with our lives?
Why are we talking about this?
Yeah. I quit.
Anyway, okay, so that was that.
Yeah. Oh God, what else? Reigns, hopefully for the last time, beat Corbin in a steel cage match.
In the feud that never ends.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't. What else? What more can you say about it?
Nothing.
Reigns beat Corbin, and yeah, this is. Well, I don't want to jinx it, but this looks like it's the end.
Oh, could it be?
Yeah, could it be? Is it? So obviously we know it's the end, because that is going to take us into the whole Goldberg situation.
Are we talking about this already?
Is there anything else to talk about?
I don't think so. I think we just got to dive in.
I mean, yeah. Well, we could talk about Brock and Ricochet. Although we kind of knew that was going to happen in a way, I guess.
Yeah, I mean, if he beat Kofi Kingston in 0.5 of a second, then yeah, there's no reason why Ricochet should go longer. I mean, I'm probably Ricochet's biggest supporter, but
yeah, it would have been nice if he got like a little something in, though.
Totally.
But Brock still dominate him in a big way.
Yep.
But I would have liked to see a little, get like a little flurry real quick, and then Brock just shut it down and put him away.
Mm-hmm.
I would have been a little happier about that than I guess the way that they did it.
Yep.
But that's just me.
Yep.
That's just me. So
I agree. I mean, we can spend more time on that in the weeks to come because it sounds like Ricochet is not in Vince's favor right now, so that's unfortunate.
Not doing too hot.
No.
Unfortunately.
So yeah, Goldberg versus The Fiend. By now, everybody knows what happened, so we don't necessarily need to recap it. Goldberg wins with a horrible-looking jackhammer, and that's it. All of the takes out there, all of the wrestling fans are angry and mad that WWE buried The Fiend. And then all of the talking heads are on Vince's side. And everyone's saying, you just don't get it. You fans, you just don't get it. And after I explain it to you, if you still don't get it, then you need to check yourselves and blah, blah, blah. One thing that I tweeted when people were saying that was, oh no, we get it. Trust me, we get it. It's just lazy, and that's why we're pissed. It is the laziest writing and booking there possibly could be. I mean, you're a month away from WrestleMania. Like, literally a month away. And they're like, what do? We need to sell tickets. Goldberg. Okay, perfect. Everyone hates
Roger,
Goldberg.
you got Bill's number?
Right. Everyone hates Goldberg. Everyone will hate that he wins, but that will make them cheer for Roman when he wins. That way they're not pissed if Roman were to beat The Fiend, whatever. Again, we get all of it. Why do you have to wait till the last minute to put together a freaking storyline? That's what pisses us off. At no point do you even care about your product or the characters that you have in it.
It's just like a last minute thing that's just put together like, Goldberg, yep, there we go. And, okay, so he just beat The Fiend. Where can we go now? WrestleMania, that's right, that's a month away, right? Yeah, okay. Well, who else do we have? Who's not doing it? Well, we just had Roman get out of that feud with Corbin. Brilliant! Yes, there we go.
It really is.
There we go. But no, like, we talked about this before. It also shows how much star power their current stars have, which is not a lot.
Well, and this is exactly why. Yeah,
and this is why they're having to rely on these big names coming back and getting them involved for, the biggest event that WWE is going to have this year. So, and it sucks, man. It sucks. I don't know.
Yeah. No, I mean, we've talked about it in weeks past. I mean, they do it to themselves. We said it before, where 10 years from now, wrestling fans are going to pop when they hear Baron Corbin's music play, because it will be him coming back for a WrestleMania spot. Meanwhile, everyone hates him right now. You know what I mean? Like, they're doing it to themselves. You're not building anything, and it is... It's just extremely frustrating because, you have someone that puts in the work to create such a compelling character that you've never seen before. And you just completely take the wind out of their sail. Now, the other argument is, well, The Fiend never should have had a belt because he doesn't really need a belt. Two things on that. Let's say, I'll take the bait and say you're right, he never should have had the belt. Then he shouldn't lose it like that. Goldberg hasn't had a match since 2018, and he can't go longer than 2 minutes. The Fiend has taken 47 curb stomps and 365 chair shots in one match and kicked out. Again, it comes back to continuity, and we could spend all day on that. If you're going to have him, if he should have never had the belt, then make him relinquish the belt. Throw it down. That would be something that would be more like his character. Because everyone's saying like, well, hang on now. Everyone's saying, okay, well, he was trying to get revenge on Cena, because Cena's the one that beat him for the belt the last time, and it's coming full circle. And
back at WrestleMania 30 or whatever, when
and
I heard that argument too.
Well, a couple things. I hate how people make that argument and then say that that's the fact. Well, duh, that's what he's doing. Well, no, just because you said that doesn't mean it's reality. WWE doesn't do that. I mean,
they haven't actually acknowledged that storyline or anything.
No, dude just came out and pointed at the sign, which is another thing that is out of his character. But if that were the
maybe
case,
they will.
If that were the case, that he was actually, gunning for Cena, and he knew that Cena wouldn't want to pursue the title, then he should throw it down.
I don't necessarily know if I agree with that. I see what you're going for, and I see, the angle that you're trying to go with that. But I think by him throwing it down would make him look like a complete doofus.
I mean, did Shane Douglas look like a doofus when he threw down the NWA World's Heavyweight title?
No, because he picked up the ECW title and said that was his championship. What was Bray Wyatt going to pick up if he threw down that title?
$7,000 custom skin title.
Like Huskus the pig.
Or maybe he loses, but it's he willingly loses.
I think I've heard that he, this hasn't been acknowledged by WWE on TV or anything, but some other people that I've heard claim that he willingly lost that in order to, like you say, get to Cena, to get his revenge on, what happened between those two earlier.
Right.
A couple of years ago at WrestleMania 30, which, okay, I can kind of buy that, I guess. Sure. That sounds more interesting than what's going on at this right now. But WWE have not acknowledged that. At least as of right now, as of, my knowledge, they have not acknowledged that's the way that they're going. So, yeah. Yeah,
and I mean, there's going to be a Firefly Funhouse this Friday on SmackDown. They've already announced it. So that, so we'll see. We'll give them the benefit of the doubt on that so far. But yeah, I mean, they haven't acknowledged it. So it's, you can't just put pieces together that aren't there. Because as it stands right now, it's lazy booking. As of right now, yes. We're in a pinch. We need to sell tickets. What do we do? This.
What did we say 2 weeks ago when we were talking about, though? It's got to be a short match.
Yep.
Goldberg and Reigns is going to be the money match that they're going to want to go with. And I don't think we really were, 100% sure who was going to win, but I think we were kind of leaning towards good old William.
Yeah, good old Billy.
Yep.
Now, not to jump around a lot here, but you wanna involve the legends and get that name recognition and notoriety around your product. Look at AEW with Jake the Snake Roberts.
Oh my God.
Jake the Snake didn't come in and DDT Jon Moxley and pin him and win the AEW World Championship.
Yeah.
Now, if it were Vince booking it, that's what would have happened. Hogan would have came out and dropped a leg drop and been like, well, there it is.
Or he just would have come out and cut some generic promo, and then that would be it, not have it lead anywhere.
Yeah, I mean, as far as just involving legends, in order to, again, bring eyes to the product, and kind of ride the wave off of those names, WWE, and I'm stealing a tweet I saw, but it was basically WWE brings a legend in to beat your top star for your world title. AEW brings in a legend to put over a new star.
Yeah.
And that's exactly what they're doing. I mean, now I will turn it over to you. And how awesome was that promo?
I dug it so much. It was so good. I mean, first of all, like, nobody knew that he was going to be there.
Right.
I mean, usually you'll see some sort of article or something come out and be like, oh, so-and-so was spotted in the, in the area. Could this possibly lead to something on TV tonight?
Yeah.
But, nobody knew anything about it.
Could it be?
So it was, yeah. Is it? But no, it was great. Jake has always been really good at this, but he did not raise his voice at all.
I don't think he can.
During that promo. He can't, but the way he does his promos is he talks really low like this. And he looks into the camera. And, his body language. He uses his body language. He doesn't use the volume of his voice so much to get his point across, but, with the words that he's saying and his body language and, like, the way he looks at you, he I don't know. It was just crazy. He got over with that crowd in, like, 3 minutes.
Oh, yeah. No.
With that promo. And yeah, when was the last time he wasn't even in the ring? Like, I think it was maybe for like a classic Raw episode that was like 5 years ago, maybe.
Well, see, Randy Orton, after AEW ended, after Dynamite ended, Randy Orton tweeted a video of
I saw that.
Him giving Jake the Snake an RKO, and I think that was from 2007.
Well, do you remember that retro Raw they did a couple years ago where he came out and
with the snake?
With a snake and put it on Ambrose?
Yep.
Yeah, I think that was like 5 years ago or something, 4 or 5 years ago. So that might have been the last time he was in, ring on a major promotion.
Yeah.
But I'm totally excited to see where this goes.
Who would you guess?
Who is he referring to?
Yeah, who's your guess?
Oh, God. Well, the names that are being thrown out are, Lance Archer.
Lance Archer.
Luke Harper, Brody Lee.
Yep.
Those are the two big names that are getting most of the speculation, special speculation. And oh God, I would like it to be Brody Lee, honestly.
Yeah, I'm torn. I want it to be Brody Lee, just because I just want him to be there already. I think that he's a special talent that is extremely underutilized, and it would be great to see him, really used to his full potential. But I also I want it to be Brian Cage also.
Okay.
But I don't think it is him because he's not. Last I knew, he's not 100% healthy yet. I think he had like a shoulder surgery, and I think he's still recovering.
Okay.
I think Lance Archer will be different. I mean, I could be wrong. Maybe it is Lance Archer because he is saying, someone to slay you, and Lance Archer is known as the Murder Hawk. So I don't know. I love the fact that there is a speculation. I love that nobody knows. I mean, sure, it's pretty much between one of 2 or 3 people. So you kind of know.
You don't know for sure.
Right.
You do not know for sure.
Right.
You know that these names are coming, but you just don't know when and how they're going to start getting involved with it.
How do you feel about the fact that neither Lance Archer nor Matt Hardy debuted this week?
Going into the episode, I was really looking forward to something like that happening.
Mm-hmm.
But after the episode, I was fine with it.
Yep.
Like, it didn't bother me at all. Because there was just, like, so much other stuff that was going on during that episode that kept my attention. Like, I wasn't bothered by it at all. I can wait.
Yep. No,
wait it out.
I'm right there with you.
Wait it out.
Right there with you. Because I think the last thing that AEW needs to do is just continuously introducing new people, and then the people that have worked so hard to get over to this point just get lost in the shuffle.
Mm-hmm. Spread it out.
Yep.
But, I mean, and that's just building more anticipation.
Exactly.
And when it finally does happen, it's going to feel like a big deal. So, I mean, man, they've been on a roll like the past 2 weeks, haven't they?
Yeah, they really have. I mean,
Holy
they've been having
crap.
some great episodes. Revolution overall, top to bottom, was a great pay-per-view. I mean, I know that the weak spot was probably Statlander and Nyla Rose, which is unfortunate because I think both of them are talented. I don't know what the miscue is. I don't know if they just need to work on their in-ring chemistry, but I think both of them are good. It just didn't come off very good.
Yeah, they didn't look as polished in some spots.
No, they didn't.
So that kind of makes me question, okay, are there other things that they need to work on? Like, are they not 100% ready for, like, to be on this big of a scale as far as on a wrestling promotion? But, I mean, that's why you probably have the veterans backstage, working with them and trying to get them more polished up as best as they can. It's going to take time, I'm sure.
Yep.
I mean, for those two, it's the first time they've ever been, seen by a national audience, I'm sure.
Mm-hmm.
So, I mean, even though they've been in there for, 5 months?
Yeah.
Or so, 5 to 7 months they've been with the organization. I mean, it'll take more time. I mean,
yep.
Yeah. So, man, do you want to go into Revolution?
I mean, like I said, we're bouncing around, so I don't know that we're following a format this week since we took that week off. We don't know which way is up, so let's just kind of riff, man. So you talk about whatever you want.
Well, God, another big talking point coming out of Revolution, I'm sure, was the tag team match.
Oh, yeah. Hangman Page, Kenny Omega versus the Bucks of Youth.
Everybody's just swinging off of that match, man.
Yeah. Let me hear you shit all over it, Dylan.
No, I am not going to shit all over it. I am not going to shit all over it. So, when I was watching this match, I texted you, and I was... Hold on. I'm going to find it.
Oh, we're pulling up text records now?
Yeah, we are text recording. So, let me see. Hold on.
This is riveting radio right here.
Hey, it's going to get really riveting here in a second.
Oh, man. I need, Jeopardy music or something. I'm not prepared for this. No, real Jeopardy music.
That's as real as it gets for right now. So.
It's real, baby.
Yeah. So, anyways, but I think I texted you, I was like, I am so confused by this match. I mean, I can appreciate all the athletic ability and, all the risks they took in that match. I mean, some of them... One spot I thought was incredibly, really risky, and I can't believe they did it, or that person escaped without anything seriously happening. But there was just, so much going on, and for me, it was really hard to follow. It was really hard to follow exactly, who was the legal man, where were, all these tags happening, and... Basically just not following any sort of rule for wrestling, except, counting a pinfall pretty much. Yeah. I mean, like I said, I am not going to downplay any of the athletic ability that they have in that match. It was fantastic. And, they did a hell of a job. It's just, I think it needed to ring itself in a little bit more and not basically crap all over like the rules of tag team wrestling or wrestling in general. That's my thoughts about it.
Yeah, I don't really see it. I think that this was probably one of their better tag team matches in terms of keeping everybody following the rules. They've definitely been much worse. It was also one of their better psychological matches, meaning the Young Bucks didn't hit 14 Meltzer drivers and, Kenny kicked out of all of them. Sure, there were falsies, but they weren't super ridiculous. I think that's always been my biggest critique when I'm watching Young Bucks versus Pentagon and Phoenix, is it's like all of these moves are finishers. Their headlocks are finishers. Like, how do at what point is there a pin, Anyway, I mean, I love both of those teams, and they're incredible, but that's always my critique, if I'm allowed to have one. But no, yes. I think this was, I think, the best tag match that AEW has put on so far. I think that they are, and it's probably only the beginning, because I think that they have heard the criticism that the tag matches are hard to follow, and that, people are it's just mayhem. And so I think that it is calming down. I think they are heeding the referee's cautions. I think...
I couldn't tell by this match.
Yes, you can. I think go back and watch it again.
I'm going to go back and watch it again. I need to. I really want to go back and watch it and see how I feel about it the second time viewing it. But... yeah, just like that first time viewing it, it was just like there was so much going on. Like I said, for me, it was just really hard to keep track of who was the legal man. I was confused. Yeah. I really was confused.
Well, that's fair. I mean, like I said, I think go back and watch it again. You may have a different opinion, but I also think that it is the beginning, because when the revival gets there, you're going to have a good contrast of styles. You're not going to have guys doing a million flips and things like that. I mean, it is going to be, well, exactly as I just said, contrast of styles.
Yeah.
So yeah.
We'll see. We'll see. But yeah.
But I do love what they're doing with Hangman Page.
I am interested in that storyline. I'm interested in the storyline.
Totally.
Of what's going on between those four. I mean, the matches are a different thing, but the storyline definitely has me interested.
Yeah, I mean, what did you think about him lining up the buckshot lariat on Kenny at the end?
It was very subtle, kind of.
Yep.
Something's going to happen. At some point, something's going to happen. That's what I'm waiting for. I'm waiting for something to happen, something like big to actually
something's happening.
Yeah, here we go. Could it be?
It is.
I think we kind of saw more of that on Wednesday.
Yeah, when he came out.
Hangman came out, yep. And after helping, basically gave the Buck the finger right there and just walked away.
Yep.
So, I mean, Yeah.
Yeah, the wheels are coming off.
They're slowly turning.
Yeah, I like it.
And, yeah. Well, we'll see where it goes.
But again, and this goes back to what we were talking about with freaking Goldberg. This is all, as you said, there was subtlety in him lining up the buckshot lariat. It is a slow burn, and eventually it will ignite this blaze of, yes,
crap, that's going to happen. That's going to rain down on everybody.
Well, and we talked about it before, too, about The Miz and Daniel Bryan. I mean, that was like the best storyline that WWE had, and they just, and then it was like they just, and then they woke up and realized they had it, and then just destroyed it. Hey, let's have them they should have, I don't know, 10, 12, maybe even 13 matches in consecutive weeks, and then just not talk about it ever again. Mm-hmm. Okay. Yeah. And then, I mean, I'm beating a dead horse here. But, meanwhile, you've got these other storylines in AEW, true storylines that are slowly building that could have all these different ramifications that kind of bounce off of them. I mean, we talked about the Cody versus MJF match, you and I did. And your complaint was, why did the ref let Cody hit him with the weight belt? And I agree. And why did he have a slow count? And again, I agree with both of those things. The only reason that I was reserving my judgment is because I was hoping that there would be something that came of it, where, and that's not to say that there still won't be, where MJF files a complaint against, Paul Turner and's like, hey, he allowed this and whatever, and then he gets fined or suspended or whatever, and who knows, that may still happen. He may get a title shot against Moxley because he does have the best singles record right now, and he specifically requests not to have Paul Turner for those reasons, Yeah.
Yeah. I mean... Yeah.
But now but now I'm doing what I complained about with other people. Like, that hasn't happened, so I can't give them that credit.
Yeah.
But that'd be cool if it did.
It'd be a little twist in the story, maybe. Just a little bit. Oh, man. God, what else? Moxley beating Jericho.
Yep. Moxley beating Le Champion.
Which I originally had Jericho beating Moxley, but apparently Fozzy needs a tour.
Yep.
So
I do like that Jericho teased that last on Dynamite. Oh, if you don't walk out of here on your own 2 feet, then I'll take a leave of absence for 60 days.
Yeah, and then that ended up not happening.
Well, then the crowd chanted, Fozzy sucks.
Yeah.
And then, he knew that, though. Man. He knew that people were going to put that together. And so that was why he did it. And so I loved that.
Yeah. Just totally messing with the fans.
Yeah.
Yeah. It was great. It was a great episode of Dynamite, though.
What about...
I think...
Gotta be.
No, I was just gonna say that when you compare the two, like AEW and WWE, and I'm gonna group in NWA in with AEW as well. But yeah, thank you. Those two companies have me like more emotionally invested in everything that they're doing than what WWE is doing right now.
Why do you say that?
Because every time I turn into WWE or watch any of their programming, especially just like on the main two shows, Raw and SmackDown, I just find myself not really caring. I just I don't care as much. Like, I'm not invested in like really anything that they're doing on those two shows. I don't know if it's because of like the half-hearted promos that the guys are giving, or that, you know, they're the promos that they're being given, and then they're trying to go out there and make it sound believable, but they're not, or just like the directions that they're going with some of these older talents that they're bringing back to try to, you know, get some interest going in their product, or just like the storylines. I'm just not. It's hard to get invested in it.
Yeah,
like AEW and like NWA, it's just good storytelling, and
it's such good shit.
Yeah, it's such good shit. And I just find myself more invested in those two companies because I think you have like a clear definition of who the characters are, and a clear direction of like logical storytelling.
Yeah.
At least that's how I feel it is.
You know, I mean, you're exactly right. You know, I think that's why I root for those so much, because, you know, WWE has been the only game in town for 20 years. You know, essentially 20 years. And so, I mean, they have shaped generations of wrestling fans, and you know, you could throw you and I in there too. I mean, yeah, we watched wrestling far before they were the only game in town, but you know, for our, you know, young adults to adulthood, they have been the only game in town in terms of a mainstream level, and so they have kind of molded and shaped and traumatized us from a wrestling fan perspective. That it is so, you're so conditioned to what their program is that, you know, you can't help but reject it. You know, like, I so badly want to watch SmackDown to see what the Fiend does, you know, because I am invested in that character, and I really applaud Bray Wyatt for, like, you know, creating it and you know, doing what he's doing with it. But I would say 65% of me is like, no, because I'm sure they're going to end up doing something stupid with him.
Yeah.
Like, that is 100%, when I say 100%, 65%, it is what I feel the majority of the time. Oh, man, I really hope that AJ and the OC do something cool. They probably won't.
Yeah. They don't have you emotionally invested.
Yep. Oh, man, I really hope that, you know,
Aleister Black does something really cool this week.
Yeah, exactly. That Ali gets a chance. You know, all these people.
Yeah.
Nope. They'll probably do something stupid with them. And lo and behold, they do. And so, yeah, it becomes, you get burned so many times, you know, that you are traumatized. And so you just don't want to believe it.
Every once in a while, though, they'll have, like, a nugget of awesomeness pop up. Like a pile of crap, and, you know, you'll be surprised every once in a while. But, God, for the most part, it's just, it's so hard to watch sometimes.
It really is, you know, and listening to the Busted Open this week, Dave LaGreca said, man, they've really dropped the ball with Shayna Baszler.
Yeah.
Couldn't agree more. I mean, talk about, like, you took your best female wrestler, and I don't care, I'll put her up against anybody, even Asuka. And don't get me wrong, I love Asuka. You ruined your best female wrestler. For what?
To bite somebody in the back of the neck.
Right.
Have her bite Becky in the back of the neck, and then Becky basically not even really be affected by it at all, like a week later.
Right.
And then, well, that's what we talked about. Just like the contrasting characters from when these people are in NXT and then brought up to the main roster. Mm-hmm. They become like a watered down shadow of what they were in NXT.
Yep.
It's crazy. It's crazy.
Yeah.
Why would you change that though? I don't understand. Why would you alter the personality of that person? What got them to the main roster? Why they're being called up to Raw or SmackDown?
Yeah.
I don't know.
I don't get it either. I mean,
I don't know.
It is. I don't know. You watch the old ECW documentaries, and they're interviewing Vince McMahon, and Vince is like, "Yeah, I wanted Paul to have success, but he needed to realize that when he got the level of exposure at a mainstream level, that he had to change. He had to change what his product was."
Mm-hmm.
And unfortunately, we'll never know if that was true or not,
Yeah.
But I think we're seeing it now that it wasn't true. Or at least it's not true anyway.
I'm sure
now.
I don't know. I think that's true to a certain extent.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't know. Like, I really want to be invested in WWE. But it's just so hard. It's so hard.
Dude, it really is too.
I just want good characters and just like logical storytelling and good matches.
Yep. Well, we have it with Dynamite, and we didn't talk about NXT much, but they're doing pretty well too.
No. Yeah, they're doing okay. They're doing okay.
I mean, the Undisputed Era Velveteen.
And let me
Sorry, go ahead.
Let me emphasize when I say like WWE, I'm mostly talking about Raw and SmackDown.
Completely agree. I don't see NXT as the same product.
No. Even though at times they can show glimpses of like being very Raw-like or being very Raw and SmackDown-like.
They do follow the same format sometimes, yeah.
Yeah. But I think they make up for it in more logical storytelling and better matches. Hello. Hello.
Well, we've got short time.
Almost an hour.
Yeah. Do you want to? Is there anything you want to close with? I know we didn't do our segments, but felt like we didn't really need to this week since we were just.
No, I think we kind
brushing up
by bouncing all over. We kind of hit on everything that we liked and everything that we weren't really too big of a fan of.
Yeah.
So, anything that I would like to close on, I'm really excited on what's going to happen in the next couple of weeks with AEW and NWA also.
Yep. Me too.
So, go Zicky Dice.
And Ricky Starks.
I'm gonna go buy my fanny pack tomorrow. So
there was one thing I wanted to talk about that's not mainstream wrestling related, but it is wrestling related. But we only have less than a minute left, so I don't know that I can really spend a lot of time. But basically, if we were gonna do our segments and we were gonna break down best of week and worst of week, my worst of week. And again, without being too long-winded, I was going to say my worst of week was WWE, the product in general, and my best of week was AEW, the product in general. But realistically, what I'm seeing a lot of that is just irritating are these kids that wrestle at Walmart.
Oh, my God. What a bunch of idiots.
What
a bunch of idiots. Screw them.
I'm glad that you feel the same way. We literally only have like 26 seconds left, but...
Okay. Oh, we'll see you next week.
I hate that everyone applauds them. I hate that everyone's like, yeah, they do good, and Good for them for being so passionate about the product. Nope. No, not good for them. In fact, when we were first starting out, we were extremely passionate about wrestling. We wrestled everywhere. We wrestled in freaking Walmart and gas stations and backyards and everything. And we even got trained and made sure that we were doing everything properly and still did stuff in the backyard. We were clamoring to get on shows, doing everything we possibly could. Our passion was not enough, and passion is never enough in pro wrestling. You have to polish your skills. That's the other thing that kind of irritates me too, is you see some matches that are full of spot fests and stuff like that. And this is coming from someone who was king of spot fests. I didn't, if people looked at my stuff and broke it down, they would say, you need to tighten this up, you need to tighten that up. You're too gassed on your Irish whips 15 minutes into the match. Why do all of this if you don't have anything left at the end? The in-between, if your in-betweens look like shit, then who cares what you're doing? Anyway, spot fests don't mean anything if nothing else is crisp. And the same with the freaking wrestling in Walmart and stupid shit like that. I don't care.
It doesn't even look like they're trained.
I don't care if you're excited about wrestling. I'm excited about wrestling. But I'm not going to get out there and make the product look like shit because I don't know what I'm doing.
Right. If you're really that passionate, go get trained.
Exactly.
Go to school, go to a credible school, go get trained and actually pursue it. Not just going into random Walmarts and putting on a half-ass, like you said, spot fest in the middle of the electronics aisle.
Right.
So, yeah. Good call.
Thanks.
Yeah.
Well, with that.
Yep. We got to go.
It's over.
Yep.
Thanks for bearing with us in our week off. Hopefully we're back to our usually scheduled programming from now on.
Our usually scheduled program.
Usually.
Possibly scheduled things that we put out.
Right.
So, real quick, Twitter, Instagram, Quick Pain Pod.
Yep.
Website, quickpainpod.com.
Twits, Ints, Face. Quick Pain Pod.
Webs.
Webs, quickpainpod.com.
Yes. Go there. Check it
Plural.
out. And check it out. And thank you guys for listening.
Yeah, thank you.